All right, everybody. So, with the Oscars being tomorrow, I thought it was finally time to go through my Oscar nominations predictions 2021 edition. So, let's just start straight from the bottom. Right here, we have shorts. Now, I don't really know much about the shorts. I hardly saw any of them. In fact, the only one I saw was If Anything Happens, I Love You, which I really recommend you guys go watch. It's only like 15 minutes. It's on Netflix. Be ready for it. It's really depressing and sad. I do think it will win Best Animated Short. I think Out and Burrow are also going to be on there. I believe they're both on Disney Plus. I think Out maybe has a chance. I don't think Burrow does. And then Abortion Helpline. This is Lisa, is what I've heard from Short Documentary. So I would bet that one makes it in there too. But in terms of anything else, I really do not know. So next up we have documentary. So right here I have Boys State winning, which by the way, not all of these categories, the first one isn't always going to be the winner. I think uh, it's just I remember some of the ones that I have to win. Uh, but I have Boys State, Dick Johnson is Dead, Time, Collective, and then the last ones are kind of difficult. I think it was either All in a Fight for Democracy or Welcome to Chechnya. I decided to put All in a Fight for Democracy because it's more political and they usually lean towards the political type documentaries. I do think Boy State is winning just because of kind of the subject matter. It's on Apple TV Plus, so if you're one of the few people with Apple TV Plus, I'd recommend you go and watch it. Personally, my favorite is Dick Johnson is Dead. As of now, I've seen Boy State, Dick Johnson is Dead, and Time. I believe Dick Johnson is Dead is number 11 on my 2020 ranking, which, if you guys want me to do that, I'll do that before the Oscar winners come out. Uh, if nobody comments anything, I'll just do my top 10 of 2020. But yeah. So for best original song, I have Seen from the Life Ahead, Speak Now, One Night in Miami, Hear My Voice, The Trial of the Chicago Seven, Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah. Now the last one is very difficult because nobody really knows what it's gonna be. Some people are saying Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest. I did see that movie and it was really mediocre Will Ferrell comedy. Uh, I decided to put Tigress and Tweet in there just because it's from Billie Holiday, which the Golden Globes seem to enjoy. So I decided to throw that one in there. In terms of winners, I'd say either Seen or Speak Now is going to win. I guess you have to go from what won the Golden Globes. So I guess Seen is going to win, but I really don't know about that one. I think it could be either one of the two. Uh, Personally, I liked Seen more, but for original song, that doesn't really matter at all. I have seen about half of these movies, but yeah. Then we have Best Original Score. So I have Soul, Mank, Tenet, Minari, and News of the World. Again, a lot of these, the first four are pretty much locks. Personally, I think these four are all really just big locks. News of the World I kind of threw in there just because the score seems to be getting a little bit of momentum. I put the Midnight Sky here too because I heard the score to that one was not that bad either. I still do need to see the Midnight Sky, and I need to try to catch News of the World just because it's in theaters. I don't know if I'll be able to go see it. Theaters are open where I am, but it just costs a lot of money to go see a movie at the theater every single time. So, yeah. But yeah, I think Soul's winning. I think Mank and Tenet have a chance. I don't think Minari does. It really sounds like Warner Brothers isn't pushing Tenet at all for like much at all. So I think it's really just down between Mank and Soul. And I think Mank will get some other technical awards. And I think Soul will take this one. For visual effects, I have Tenet, Midnight Sky, Mank, Welcome to Chesnia, and Mulan. My alternates are Birds of Prey, One and Only Ivan, and Love and Monsters. I think this one's Tenet. I really can't see it going any other way, to be honest. If something else takes it, I guess. I need to check out. I really have no push to go and watch One and Only Ivan. I'd love to check it out eventually. Well, I wouldn't love to. That's kind of the reason why I haven't done it already. Does not look great at all. But I may check it out eventually. I'd like to see Love and Monsters because I heard that one was fun, even though I don't think that has any Oscar, like any, it won't win a single Oscar or get nominated. I still need to see Mulan and The Midnight Sky. As long as Welcome to Chechnya, I have no idea what that is, and it's popped up twice now, so I should probably figure that out. That might be a good idea. Then for sound, we have Sound of Metal, Tenet, Mank, News of the World, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and then the alternates are Midnight Sky, Defy Bloods, and Greyhound, namely because Midnight Sky is a space movie and Defy Bloods and Greyhound are war movies. Right now, though, I have Sound of Metal winning, not because it has sound in the title, but just the way that whole movie works. Uh, I went into it blind, and it became my top three of the year. So I recommend you go in blind as well. Uh, I they utilize sound really well in that movie because you hear a lot of it from the main character's perspective, and that works really well. I could see Sound of Metal, Tenet, and Mank, or I could see Sound of Metal win. Sound of Metal will win either mixing or sound editing, and I think Tenet or Mank are really a toss up for the other one. I could see both happening. Maybe they'll give that one to Tenet, but in production design, I have Mank. I really don't see it going any other way at all. The only one that even comes close is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. For alternates, Mulan, Personal History, David Copperfield, and then my others are Emma, News of the World, and Tenet. Uh, yeah, I think Mank is really going to take this one just because the sort of aesthetic it really took from capturing back then in Hollywood, and it kind of made obviously Citizen Kane was lifelike, but it made the world back then really lifelike as well. So I think it'll easily take that one. And then for makeup and hair, I think Ma Rainey has this one in the bag as well. I think Mank is possibly up there. Birds of Prey, I guess. Emma and Hillbilly Elegy are kind of thrown on there, and Jingle Jangle is an alternate because I haven't seen that one yet. I need to see Emma and Jingle Jangle. But yeah, I think from what others have been saying, Jingle Jangle may have a chance, but I really don't know. And by the way, I'll get a little more in depth on some of the stuff once we get to the bigger categories. For editing, I think Trial is taking it just because of the way it does these like little cuts around everywhere. I think Nomadland is also an option, and I think Sound of Metal and Mank and The Father are all in there. Apparently, The Father's editing is very good, and I do think Trial, Nomadland, Mank, and Sound of Metal's editing are all great. Alternates are Promising Young Woman and Tenet. But yeah, I really think Trial will take this one. I really like Sound of Metal's editing as well, but I don't think that really has much of a chance. For costume design, I think Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will take it. And this is a big example of it not being in order from how much I think it'll get in. I don't know about Personal History, David Copperfield. It was kind of a throw in just because I don't really know what else could work. Mank, because it's a period piece, and Mulan and Emma, I think, are pretty obvious why they'd win costume design. Emma being a period piece, Mulan adapting a Disney animated movie. And then we have Billie Holiday and News of the World on there as well. But I think that Ma Rainey's Black Bottom easily takes this one, and I don't see costume design going to any other option. For cinematography, we have Nomadland, Mank, Minari, Tenet, and News of the World. For alternates, we have Midnight Sky, Defy Bloods, and First Cow. I think Nomadland's probably going to take this one. Maybe Mank could also get in there. I loved Minari this year. I'll get into that in a little bit. But I wish Minari would take some categories, but I think Nomadland and Mank are really going to be the big toss ups for these technical categories and stuff like that. But I could see it going to Nomadland, and I could also see it going to Mank. So your guess is about as good as mine, but I I'll throw in Nomadland as the winner. And it just Okay. Next up, we have Best International Feature. So I have another round: La Llorona, Quo Vadis, Ida, Dear Comrades, and Collective. And for alternates, as Sun, I'm No Longer Here, and Two of Us. I think another round is taking this. There are people, I mean, another round got screenplay at and actor at the BAFTAs. So people really, really love another round. So I'm totally seeing it going to here. If Minari was in the international feature, which it shouldn't be, but if it was, I would totally say Minari's taking it. But another round really just seems to be on a whole nother level compared to the rest of these. Some of them, well, actually, most of them I still need to see. Actually, all of them I need to see. I haven't seen any of these movies as of yet, but I will get there eventually. For animated feature, we have Soul being the winner, and to pity them, we'll throw Wolfwalkers Onward, Over the Moon, and Crude's A New Age on there. Alternates the Willoughbys. I don't see it going to anything other than my first five. I think this is one of the easier categories to predict. Of course, I'll probably eat my words in the future when I react to it tomorrow, and Willoughbys or something is on there instead of Crude's. All right, here's where we get into some of the harder categories. Adapted screenplay, I have Nomadland, One Night in Miami, The Father, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. They're all locks. Then I put The White Tiger in there because it seems The White Tiger is gaining a little bit of momentum in the screenplay categories. Uh, so I'm going to throw that one in there. News of the World and First Cow could also get in there, but I haven't seen really any momentum for either of them. So I'm going to put White Tiger in there. Uh, but yeah, I think that would probably be my pick. I think Nomadland's winning that one, just like it's winning every freaking other award that it gets nominated for. And yeah. For original screenplay, we have Chicago 7, Promising Young Woman, Mank, Minari, and Sound of Metal. Alternates are Defy Blood, Soul, Judas, and the Black Messiah. I think that Judas could maybe get in along with Soul. I don't see Defy Bloods getting in, but it might, and those being instead of Sound of Metal. But I think it's going to Trial. Promising Young Woman is a maybe along with Mank. I don't think it's going to Minari, but I think Promising Young Woman and Chicago 7 are like right here together, sort of. I think that Trial will take it though because it is Aaron Sorkin. But people love Promising Young Woman, so it really could just happen. And then Best Supporting Actress. Guys, this one is the most impossible to predict this year. We have Olivia Colman from The Father, Ye Jung-yoon from Minari, Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy, Maria Bakalova, Borat subsequent movie film, and Amanda Seyfried from Mank. All right, this one is a bit of a toss-up. So in terms of locks, I think Olivia Colman is a definite for The Father. I think Ye Jung-yoon is a definite for Minari. And I really could see Bakalova staying in for Borat 2, which I think is insane, but she did have a good performance in that movie. Now, Close and Seyfried both aren't getting the momentum that I think, for one, either deserve. I do think Seyfried is my favorite, or my favorite supporting performance of the year. Uh, yeah, I think that's correct. I think it's my favorite supporting performance from the year. In terms of alternates, you can say Dominique Fishback and Ellen Burstyn have a chance, but and even Helena Zengel. But I think Jodie Foster from The Mauritanian is the only one that has a chance of breaking in here just because of its nomination. And I think win. I actually think it got a win at the Golden Globes. So I think that that would be another reason why. Other than that, this one is just such a toss up. I think it really could be Coleman from The Father. Uh, I think Ye Jung-yoon may be in second place and Bakalova behind there, but I think Olivia Colman's going to take it. Now, after we get the nominations, I guess I'll end up doing an updated video talking about who I think the winners will be, but as of now, I think Olivia Colman's going to take it. Best Supporting Actor, we have Kaluuya from Judas, Sacha Baron Cohen from Trial, Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami, Paul Raci, Sound of Metal, and Chadwick Boseman, To Five Bloods. Alternates, I really don't think many of these have a chance except Alan Kim. Alan Kim definitely could get in. I think that the others I think that these four are all pretty much locks. Uh, Specifically Daniel Kaluuya, who is easily going to take this one by far. I don't see anybody else getting it except him. The only one that comes even a little close is Sacha Baron Cohen, but I think Kaluuya has got this in the bag. Now, on to the next one. We have Best Actress, which I have Carey Mulligan, Frances McDormand, Vanessa Kirby, Andra Day, Viola Davis. I just read that out of order. I'm very sorry. For alternates, Rosamund Pike at Caroline. I still need to check that movie out. And Amy Adams' Hillbilly Elegy. I think Carey Mulligan's taking this. I think Amy Adams, you can just space out quite a bit. I don't think she has much of a chance. I think Rosamund Pike maybe could go in, but I don't know for who. I think the rest of them, I think everybody here is a pretty easy lock. Uh, in figuring out a winner, I think Vanessa Kirby is automatically out. I think that she just doesn't really have much of a chance, which really sucks because she's one of my favorite performances of the year. Uh, then I'd take Viola Davis out just because the momentum for Viola Davis has seemed to gone down a little bit. Andra Day just because people really don't like the movie very much at all. And then it's really just down between McDormand and Mulligan. And I think Mulligan is just picking up more steam, especially around now when it's gotten like right up here instead of Nomadland being sort of like right here, uh, and everything else just being down here. But I think that Mulligan definitely will take this, and I really just don't see it going many other ways except maybe McDormand. Then for Best Actor, I have Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins, The Father, Stephen Yeun for Minari, Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, and Gary Oldman for Mank. I'm actually really confident about my Best Actor prediction. I think Chadwick's going to take it. I think not just because he died, but also because that performance was just spectacular. Probably top three performances of the year. Maybe I'll do my own little mocksters if you guys want me to do that, where I just pick my favorite for every category. But yeah, I think Chadwick Boseman has this one locked. I could see maybe Anthony Hopkins winning. I really wish Delroy Lindo was in here instead of Gary Oldman. I thought Mank was an okay film. It didn't make it in my top 10, and I don't even know if it made it in my top 15. Uh, and I love Delroy Lindo's performance in To Five Bloods. It was one of my favorites, and I wish that he had gotten in. I think if any of these four won right here, I would be so happy. But now it's time to get into sort of the meat of the talking because, oh, nope, we still got Best Director. Chloe Zhao for Nomadland is going to take this. Anybody that tries to disagree with me, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, but I think you're probably wrong. In terms of the others, Aaron Sorkin, just because he's been picking up steam for directing all year. Same with Emerald Fennell, not all year, all awards season. Fincher because he's David Fincher, and Lee Isaac Chung, who's been picking up quite a lot of directing steam recently. In terms of alternates, I think Regina King, possibly just because she's a new director and this was sort of her breakout movie because it was also her first movie, and Spike Lee because just like David Fincher, he is Spike Lee. And now for Best Picture, we have Nomadland. I'll break down my thoughts on each of these and I'll just skip it if I didn't see it. Nomadland, I thought Nomadland was an interesting film. It was very artsy for me, and it didn't work as well for me, which was a little disappointing. I just wish it had worked a little better. It's still in my top 10 of the year. I think it's lower half, If we're talking best of the year, I think it might be one of the best of the year. I'm going to turn this a little bit. And yeah, Trial of Chicago 7, top three of this year. I really enjoyed Trial of Chicago 7. Not as much for Aaron Sorkin's directing, but his screenplay and basically all like the pool of actors involved. I just thought that all really, really worked. Minari is my favorite movie of this year by quite a long shot, I'd say. I think Minari just was so accessible and so like special at the same time, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't have a single problem with it, uh, but it really worked for me. And I thought Stephen Yeun, Alan Kim, and Yo Jung Yoon were really just absolute standout performances. Who, if they all got nominated in each of their categories, I would be so happy because they were all just incredible. And did you see Alan Kim's speech? Because if you disagree with me, I want you to go look up Alan Kim's winning speech, and that'll change your mind. Then we have Mank, which I believe I already talked about a little bit ago. One Night in Miami. I thought One Night in Miami was a little overrated. I enjoyed the performances. I thought the performances were great, and I found the plot to be somewhat interesting. It just didn't really captivate me, and I wasn't really in love with the plot, to be honest. I found it just didn't connect with me as a plot. Uh, I get what they were trying to do, just didn't work for me. I wasn't terribly interested in the source material or anything like that. But then we have Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I believe this is top six or top five of this year. I really, really enjoyed Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I thought Davis and Bozeman were both fantastic in it. I thought the directing by George C. Wolfe was done quite properly. Not Oscar worthy, but it was done well. And I thought it just really worked. And then we have a massive gap because I didn't see The Father, Judas, or Promising Young Woman, and we have Sound of Metal. Sound of Metal is in my top three of this year, just as Minari and Trial are. I thought Sound of Metal worked extremely well. I thought everything just really sort of kept me captivated in the way the story was told and just the sort of interestingness to it, if that makes sense. I thought it all really, really worked. And yeah, I thought Riz Ahmed was fantastic as well. Da Five Bloods. Da Five Bloods is kind of a weird one for me because I found Da Five Bloods to be like captivating, but also boring at the same time. I sort of felt like sometimes nothing was really happening that I wanted it to happen, and sometimes things were happening that I just didn't care about. And I do think Delroy Lindo, his performance, and Spike Lee, his directing, and also Chadwick Boseman's performance, all really held the film a little higher for me. But other than that, it wasn't super memorable for me, and I just watched it like this week. So that should tell you something. And then we have News of the World, which is also on here, which I didn't see. And that's another alternate. And Borat subsequent movie film. I don't know what else to say about Borat. It was a funny movie sometimes. It was okay. I wish I hadn't given it the high score that I gave it because I don't I don't still agree with that score. I think it gets a solid 7. I think I gave it an 8. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Be sure to tell me what you guys' thoughts are on these Oscar predictions and what are your Oscar predictions. Be sure to go down and leave a dislike as well as a subscription. I'd love to see your dislikes, I mean comments. So thank you all for watching and see you guys.